My name is John Reed. I'm a Director of Solutions in Microsoft's Global Automotive Industry team. In the automotive team, we cover quite a bit of area in automotive, and I'll talk about that for a moment. But I've spent all of my career in automotive, quite a bit of it at Microsoft, and eager to share with you today some of the innovations that we're focused on in automotive, specifically around transforming consumer experience and also creating a bridge through that to future mobility models. With me today, of course, is one of our key partners, Adobe, and Krista and I will be talking in the Q&A about how we can work together with your firms to help adopt some of these technologies to improve your roadmap. In the context of Microsoft's focus on automotive, we actually start based on market feedback. Many of you on the call have worked for firms that have been participants in sharing feedback and guidance to Microsoft, so we consult customers, partners, analysts in the ecosystem. And what we see in automotive are many forces that are driving transformation. Given your background in the industry, you will have a feel for these at a level of detail far deeper than ours. But I did want to share that we're learning from what's occurring in the industry to shape our strategy. One factor, obviously, is COVID. The impact of the pandemic in terms of health and public policy, of course, is most important. But in terms of our industry, we've seen an impact on car sales, car and light truck sales. We're also seeing signs of optimism, not only with the availability of a vaccine, as well as reduction in many countries of cases of COVID. But we're also seeing the projection for sales globally to grow. Obviously, there are some markets where there are challenges, but we see light at the end of the tunnel. In parallel with that, we also see three areas that are driving transformation that are part of factors that preceded COVID, and in many cases have been accelerated by the pandemic. One is the transformation of automotive around connected vehicles, autonomous vehicles, shared service, and electrification, CASE for short, as well as the transformation of the business to include different kinds of mobility services. The McKinsey numbers we have suggest that the current global automotive business, which is about 3.5 trillion, will double by 2030, and quite a bit of that growth is going to occur in services that form around mobility and CASE. Second factor is the transformation of customer experience. As many of us are aware and many of us are engaged in many cases, the consumer experience in purchasing and servicing a vehicle and acquiring mobility services can be improved. And so this is a key area of investment for Microsoft. And then finally, in addition to the transformation in the business itself, there's also a transformation of the type of work that's being done. And so quite a bit of the efforts that are ongoing with manufacturers, for example, as well as companies in all parts of the automotive ecosystem, is how to become more agile and more aggressive about technology and include those capabilities as part of the business. So 10 years ago, the primary business might be manufacturing and selling vehicles. The role of technology increases. And so now the presence of digital, whether it's in the car or in the store or in a digital experience, is crucial and part of the roadmap for many of our customers. So at Microsoft, we formed our strategy around 5 areas. We focus on differentiation of customer experience, which is our primary topic today. The way that those transform into mobility services, also a primary topic for today. But we also focus around vehicle innovation, work we do with connected and autonomous vehicles. We've had announcements a few weeks ago with GM Cruise, this morning with Volkswagen Group. So we focus a lot on the transformation of the device itself. Resilient operations, so this is the efforts that we support around transformation of supply chain and manufacturing, and increased organizational productivity. This would be the transformation of internal culture around software, collaboration, and other tools, as well as core IT. Underpinning this, we organize our approach to the market around 3 core philosophies. These are anchored in our strategy and are reflected in the way that we conduct ourselves in the marketplace and the way that we form relationships with our partners and customers. First of all, we don't compete. We don't sell cars. We don't market cars. Second, we don't monetize IP. The data and your intellectual property is yours. And the third is your brand and your consumer experience is the most important. So you won't find us trying to shape a strategy which places the Microsoft brand ahead of yours. Our goal is collectively to help you be successful. In those areas, and there's obviously overlap, for example, between customer experience and mobility services, the way that experiences are created inside of a vehicle. Our vision is to create an end-to-end digital experience that traverses not only the existing business, private ownership principally, commercial fleets driven from various kinds of marketing, sales, and after sales and loyalty operations, but also create a bridge to mobility services. So as Kristen will describe later around some of the co-innovation that we're doing together with Anata, the focus really is to bring together these two areas, the current business and the future roadmap, and to create an experience which is integrated together. An important factor here, you'll see this in the discussion with Anata, is that we recognize that this journey is complex, it's long, it involves transformation of many different types of systems. And so it's not possible to bring in the complete end-to-end platform all at once. Our goal really is to identify the areas where transformation has to happen and then construct a roadmap that meets your needs. So it could be from a manufacturer or national sales company perspective, it could begin with constructing an integrated data estate, creating a view centrally of customers and vehicles and parts, and then managing contact center, for example, for case management, captive finance, and then integrating marketing experience. For others, it may begin with data, and then it's a transformation of sales or after sales. So the key is that we can work with the technologies that you have, as well as the partners you have to help shape a roadmap that meets your needs. When we look at the focus that we have, the transformation of data typically is the starting point for many of these projects. That we focus in many cases on creating that pipeline of data around customer, vehicle, and parts, and then creating services on top that begin with AI and machine learning to help integrate that data, as well as create value-added business processes and workflows on top of that. There are many different types of technologies that Microsoft offers directly. We do work around common data standards and models. We have a broad set of business applications with which we work with key partners and customers like Anata. We've got some interesting technologies that we're using to help improve employee collaboration. And again, as we look at ways of addressing your needs, our key view is that we integrate with the technologies you have and create a transformation approach that focuses on the sorts of success that you need. One example I wanted to highlight quickly is a project that we announced about 2 months or so with Mercedes-Benz in the US, where we deployed a mixed reality technology called HoloLens, a technology for collaboration called Microsoft Teams, and a business process application called Remote Assist to allow their technicians to work more effectively, particularly in an environment where distance is critical. So in the words of the customer, I'll play it for you.
Mercedes-Benz has been around for 140 years, and we always strive to deliver the best technology and the best experience to our consumers.
Our technology is advancing how we communicate with our dealers and how we communicate with our technicians.
I think the biggest challenge technicians have now is the complexity of vehicles.
We deal with hundreds of cars every day. Whenever we need help with a vehicle that we can't figure out, we will get assistance from MBUSA. Sometimes it'll take a while to go back and forth between a case because I can't make it to my computer or they're busy with other cases.
Using Dynamics 365 Remote Assist, it's allowing our technicians to be able to service a vast number of dealerships in multiple locations without them having to leave. So we're able to actually cover the country in a much more efficient way, which increases customer satisfaction.
The most important thing is efficiency. We can have an engineer from Germany, we can have an engineer in Jacksonville, having all the support in the world combined at the dealership.
I could just put it on, get immediate support. They can literally point things out to me as I'm looking at it. They could circle it, they could draw lines. It's hands-on, it's literally right there. I could be talking with him, going through the vehicle in real time. It's very intuitive.
It's obviously a cost savings for us, but it's ultimately a bigger cost savings for the consumer and the dealer.
This is probably one of the single most important inventions that I've seen, the HoloLens, and Dynamics 365 Remote Assist has just been a game changer in this business.
So So again, we were very proud to discuss this solution implementation with Mercedes-Benz, but it highlights our ability to interoperate with the technologies that are already there, including the dealer management system, as well as make a bridge between current capabilities that are needed, including distance-based interactions in the context of COVID. And as you think about the bridge that's made to new vehicle platform technologies, new services, the sort of mixed reality technology can help make a much more effective interaction with service technicians as well as others in retail operations. Last point before I hand off to Kristen is that in the same way that we partner closely with customers, such as Mercedes, for example, in this case, as well as many others, is that we look for co-innovation relationships with key technology companies in our sector that have important technologies and great relationships with customers. I wanted to highlight one, given the audience, that I think kind of shares a common set of assets that many of you use. But about 3 years ago, for example, in one of these co-innovation relationships, we announced a deep partnership with Adobe. As we think about, at the time, the integration of, for example, marketing to contact center, more effective lead management to retail experience, we were able to work deeply to evolve technologies that Adobe had to plug into a variety of different technologies that Microsoft provides and that many of our customers, as well as our partners like Adobe, use. So I won't comment on this in detail, but when you think about the integration and the partnership with Adobe, it's more than just a marketing headline. We did substantial amounts of engineering to bring together their assets to create kind of a seamless flow of data and process between our applications. In a similar way, we've been working for 15 years with Anata, and very eager to hand over to Kristen to talk about some of the innovations that we share as part of our partnership and the great work that we're doing around retail and mobility in the automotive ecosystem.